Good afternoon, one and all. Before starting this event, we need to take the Almighty's blessings. So let's have a silent prayer. Thank you. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. A man is the product of his thoughts, for the mind is his greatest power. A very good afternoon to everyone. I, Janvi from MBA Junior F1, welcome one and all to Campus to Corporate, a panel discussion on the topic Aligning with Industry Expectations, Pathways for Career Roles in Finance. It takes my immense pleasure to welcome the esteemed corporate panelists, Mr. Kamal Chhabra, Mr. Santosh Chandrekar, our Dean, Dr. Jane Matthew, Associate Dean, Dr. Georgie Korean and Jeevananda Sir, HOD Krishna MC Sir and Shirish CV Sir, HOS Dr. Marina Matthew Ma'am, and all the faculty members and students to this formal event. Before moving on to the panel discussion, I request Ms. Shivangi to provide a brief introduction of our guest panelists and the student panelists. So over to you, Shivangi.
As Warren Buffett rightly said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. On that note, I, Shivangi Bansal, welcome to all the present here. It is my privilege and honor to introduce our first panelist, Mr. Kamal Chhabra, CEO of KC Global Edu and ex-senior manager at EY. He has an experienced professional with overall 12 plus years of postgraduate qualification work experience. He served at various capacities as the senior manager in EY GDS assurance practice. He led a team size of 220 plus professionals, one of the largest US offshore assurance commercial teams in the EY GDS Americas assurance practice. Mr. Kamal has diversified experience working on many G360 audits, mid-sized public and private company audits, and small private company and component audits. He has successfully cleared many PCAOB inspections on his SEC-listed clients in the US. His key expertise lies in the financial statement audit, tax audits, limited review, and other compliance audits under US GAAP, IFRS, NGAAP, and Indian GAAP. Kamal's efforts are recognized by all the organizations he has worked with. We welcome you, sir. It is indeed our privilege to have you here today with us. Our next guest for the day is Mr. Santosh Chandrekar, an experienced senior manager with a demonstrated history of working in investment banking. He has a professional experience of 14 plus years on the whole. Prior to joining KC Global Edu, he worked as a senior manager at State Street Global Advisors. He is skilled in auditing, internal controls, financial statements, financial reporting, and the US generally accepted accounting principles. He is strong in the accounting profession, has the CA degree to his credit from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is good at managing the project and people effectively by upskilling to deliver his highest standard deliverable. We welcome you, sir. It is a great pleasure to have you here today with us. Also, I would like to introduce to our student panelist for the day. Our first panelist is Ms. Vidhi Sancheti, a graduate with Bachelor in Computer Applications, currently pursuing MBA in Finance. Recently, she won the title of Finance Queen in an event organized by Christ University. Our next student panelist is Mr. Blesson, an economics graduate from Madras Christian College, Chennai, has a year of work experience at the Royal Bank of Scotland, Chennai. Currently pursuing his master's in finance, and he aspires to expand his financial knowledge horizons to understand the industry better. Our next student panelist is Mr. Priyansh Dhiman, a graduate of commerce from the University of Delhi with a work experience of 5 months as accounts executive under CA. He won the Inter-Campus Premier Finance and Business Quiz Atharva 2021 recently. Our next student panelist is Mr. Saurabh Mittal, a graduate in commerce from CMS Jain University, Bangalore. Also holds a degree in the entrepreneurship from the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. He aspires to start his career in wealth management and equity research. And Our last student panelist is Mr. Pawan Kumar, who has completed a certificate course as an equity analyst and is interested in the stock market. He represented Christ University in Samriddhi 2020, organized by the Goa Institute of Management. Also, he participated and secured 118th rank in Amalthea 2020, IIT Gandhinagar. Pawan is passionate about playing mind games like puzzles, rubrics, etc. I welcome you all once again. Now, over to the student panelists. I would request Vidhi to take over from here.
Thank you, Shivangi. A very good afternoon, everyone. We all might have at least once heard and been advised by the seniors and mentors that finance is one of the most complex specializations among all the available domains in MBA. This isn't just because of the syllabus or schedule, but the journey from books to desk, from theory to practice and then to profession, from learning to implementation of financial concepts that make the journey a bumpy road with rocky patches. As the students, we have lots of dilemma in finding that best job role given our skill sets, or having the right skill set for the best job, or getting that one business proposal for the startup, or starting that journey from internship to placement offers to making a career. Before closing, the gaps right from how to make best use of MBA till how to land that right job or how to make a career in finance is the need of the hour. Dear audience, stay tuned as we look forward to hearing from our distinct panelists here today in this panel discussion, Campus to Corporate. Mr. Kamal Chhabra, sir, my first question to you. You have served as at various capacities in the corporate across many countries. Would you like to share your experience of the journey from your initial days of joining the job till owning your own startup? Sorry, sir, you
Mr.
are
Kamal,
on
sir.
mute.
Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to check with you before we get into more deep, like how you wanted to go about it. Would it be like Q&A session completely, or you want like we and Santosh to have some quick round of introduction, and then maybe we can share some story with you, which would be like beneficial for each one of you, and then we can go into the Q&A session, or you want to directly jump into the Q&A session?
Sir, it is absolutely fine. If you want to start with a small story and share your experience, we can smoothly transition for Q&A. It's absolutely fine. Please take
Okay,
it.
okay.
Sure.
Maybe Santosh, like if you can quickly introduce, and then I can give a brief introduction about myself, and then I'll take them through a story.
Yeah, good afternoon, one and all. My name is Santosh, and I think I become very popular for coming late, logging in late. So as Shivangi and your team mentioned that my experience and other things. So initially after my qualification, I joined EY. That was my first job, and almost since I qualified my CA, so I was kind of taken as a senior in EY. Then that was a very kind of, I didn't know anything actually, because I did my articleship for 3 years in a very medium or mid-sized audit firm. And in EY, everything was different actually, because everything they use sophisticated tool and sophisticated way of doing the audit. And I still remember one of my managers, she signed me to no, she asked me to sign that report actually. So I didn't know how to sign actually on in terms of on the system actually, how to because I asked her immediately, can I have a pen so that I can sign? So that was kind of I mean, that's what I want to say, that there is a huge gap and what we learn and what we really expected to work in the industry. So I mean, being a chartered accountant, and I was very kind of I had a reasonable knowledge on what we kind of accounting, finance, and companies have. And when I kind of exposed to the organization, exposed to big four like EY, so I was a bit struggling actually, in the sense I had that gap actually. I think it's a very good forum actually. College are organized this kind of a forum, so wherein we can kind of share the experience, so that you can also do a homework before joining the organization. Then I mean, this what I mean, currently I'm handling people about 250 people I handle. And I got various kinds of people. Actually, I got kind of freshers from the college, and I've got chartered accountants in my team, and I got people experience of 10 years actually. So having said that, I think it will be very easy for me to kind of do a panel discussion. So this is about me. And Kamal, over to you.
Cool, thank you. Thanks, Santosh, to be so quick and allowing me more time to speak. Thank you very much. So maybe like how I wanted to go about it, maybe like I can share a brief introduction about myself. Then I would love to share like maybe my journey, like throughout my study to where I am at this point of time. And maybe like in those journey, what I have learned in last 15 years or 16 years of my life, both in like my education as well as in the professional curriculum, I would specifically wish you to point it out or maybe jot it down the key learnings, which has been very much relevant for you at this point of time to know what all mistakes probably me and Santosh or the professional like us has made in our life, so that you can avoid those mistakes and how you can be reach to the top at the earliest one. Second thing, other than like my introduction and story, what I personally wants to share with you in terms of experience would be like what are the, you can say, superpower habits maybe you can develop right now from here, because you all are like in MBA first year of education, you still have 1.5 years in your hand, and any habit can be developed in like maybe like in 20 to 23 or 25 weeks. So if you ritually, or if you can say religiously follow those habits, I'm sure you would be much successful profession or a leader in your career. And then other than that, like what based on my experience, or like me and Santosh go in like other universities and colleges as well for these kind of sessions. So what generally like maybe the questions or curiosity what we get from the students. So I thought I have given some thoughts around that. Like the first fear is generally what I heard from the students, especially from the like third year of bachelor degree or the master student, like how should I make myself job ready, and how what all things I should do to crack the interview. That's the main concern generally a student to have. So would like to share some experience around those, because like to be very honest, in last 15 years of experience, I personally have taken more than like 500 interviews, to be very honest with you. So would love to share like experience of what are the do's and what are the don'ts, so that probably you can make notes and work on those things while you have time to improvise yourself and get yourself ready for the job. And third thing, what I wanted to share with you, like Santosh rightly said, is the expectation gap. What industry wants and what in the campus or in academy we all learn. So what are the gaps between these two? So that if you understand the gap, then probability is high you would be in a position to fill those gaps before you get there, right? So those things I would like to share. And then the fourth point I thought to share with you, like future of finance. At this point of time, almost all of you are doing like MBA in finance sector, what I have been told. So you should know what is the finance in current and how it will be shaping up in the future, so that you make yourself mentally as well as skill wise ready for the future of finance, right? Couple of things I wanted to share over there, because these are very critical. The world nowadays is facing huge level of disruption. At this disruption, if you get to know what are the things coming on my way, then probably you have some time, 1 year or 1.5 years, to make yourself prepared for that. If nobody like us, me or Santosh or any other professional who will be coming to your campus, will not give you those insight, what would be the future of finance and what would be the future expectation from an MBA finance, then probably it would be hard for you as a student, or maybe for your professor as well, to make you job ready. So my key focus in this today's session would like to make on is what is going to be the future of finance, so that you get to know right here so that you have comfortable time to prepare for your future. And then couple of other things, maybe like few more certification along with the MBA you can do, or maybe a couple of the leadership skills I'm sure you might be developing in your MBA curriculum, but how you need to look at those skill set which you are developing in your MBA curriculum, how that has been recognized, or how those leadership skill will take you to the ladder, to the upside of the ladder, or probably how those leadership skill actually help you in shaping up your career. So we'll try to share as much as practical experience, whatever we have learned from like last 15 years of experience. And then like my journey is being like from like student to you can say to employee, and then to entrepreneur, and then now I am an entrepreneur, you know. So would love to share the skill set probably you need to develop for the future if you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to be the leader in the organization. So a couple of thoughts I have given before coming to this meeting, so I would like to take some additional time to share those thoughts and experiences with you guys before we jump into like Q&A or panel discussion. You don't need to worry, like we'll definitely give sufficient time for your Q&A or panel discussion whatsoever you have lined up for us. But if you hear me for next like 20 minutes or 30 minutes with all these things which I thought to share with you, probably most of your question will automatically get answered, or probably we can have some more elaborative answer to your question probably which you have might be for the panel discussion. Would it be fine with each one of you before we get started?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is fine.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much for your approval, ma'am. About myself, like my name is Kamal Chhabra. I belong to a very lower middle class family when I started my life, to be very honest. And till my 10th standard, I studied in a like government school in a Hindi medium school. And then there I realized when you go in a future, when you go in a look into the future, when you go in a market, there is no demand for the people who speaks in Hindi or who works in Hindi. You know, so that time in the age of 16 or 15, 16 year of age, I realized about the future that if I continue to study in Hindi, probably that may not take me to the right place where I wanted to be in my future. So they are like my mom's, dad's, my parents' financial condition was not so strong. But somehow I convinced them. I did my own job like after my 10th standard, and I earned some money. And my dad, my mom, and my sister, like we all supported me to move into like some English medium school for the 11th and 12th standard, and took my commerce with math in my 11th and 12th standard. Somehow like I transit from like 16 years study into Hindi medium education to an English medium education. You know, that transition was not easy. If you learn in initial like 15 or 16 year of your education in a Hindi medium school, in a second day, if you're starting from everything in English medium, it's not easy. But when you are prepared your mind for the transition and you are ready to embrace the change, then you can do anything you like it in the world, I'm telling you. So somehow I cleared my 11th standard, and somehow I get good score in my 12th standard. And after getting a good score, I took the admission in Delhi University, a reasonably good college. And then I did my BCom honors of 3 years. You know, when I was taken the admission in Delhi University, again, like my mom and dad, they don't have like that great financial position to pay me for anything and everything is being required to get there or to study continuously over there. And somehow alongside with my study, especially in summer vacation or in winter vacation, I did a lot of internship. I did an internship under a company secretary. I did an internship under a CA firm. I did some marketing job, and I learned throughout my, you can say 3 years of my BCom honors study. I learned a lot in addition to what I was learning in my BCom honors with you. And then after that, like when I done my BCom honors, so one of my friend, he was working under a chartered accountant. he said I was looking for a job, and he helped me in getting a job under a chartered accountant, to be very honest with you. And then, like immediate after my exam, I started working with that chartered accountant, and there I realized is something like, is this accounting, finance, auditing, taxation, whatsoever the work they were assigning to me is seems interesting to me. That's how like I realized my area of interest. You know, when you do some experiment, when you do some work, when you do something right or when you do something wrong, then only you get to know what is your area of interest. You know, then like I took the admission in chartered accountant course after my graduation back in 2005, and in 2006 like I got, like after my graduation, earlier it was directly PE2, which is like CA intermediate exam, not the CPT. So I did directly PE2. Luckily I got clear both the groups in one go in May 2006. And then after, I thought would be good if I do some internship of 3 years of chartered accountant in some good company or in some good firm. So I tried all big four: EY, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, GT. Fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't get selected. The reason I personally feel would be my communication and presentation skill at that point of time, to be very honest with you. Now, somehow I get, you can say, internship in a mid-sized good firm, which is named like JP Kapoor and O'Brien. That's in Delhi, a mid-sized good firm. I learned over there for a 3 year of experience. And in November 2008, my final CA final exams was supposed to be there. And luckily, with the God grace, I cleared both the group in one go. Right. So I cleared my CA final in November 2008 before my internship has got completed. And immediate after that, I got an opportunity for the Big Four. That's from the PwC, which was my dream job at that point of time. You know, learning from a Big Four consulting firm is almost a different level of experience, because what you'll be learning in the Big Four or what you'll be learning in top MNCs is the world-class experience. It's not only about the work, it has a lot which will change your overall personality, I'm telling you. So that's how I got like almost like 6 jobs at that point of time through the campus placement as well as through my private search, what I did at that point of time. But I elected to join PwC. And I worked with PwC Gurgaon office for around 3.5 years. Worked with very, you can say, big multinational company which are listed in Bombay Stock Exchange as well as New York Stock Exchange, which is in like automobile industry, investment banking company, education industry, telecom industry. And then after 3.5 years working with Gurgaon office, I got an opportunity to take a move to PwC Mumbai, internal transfer. Then I took like internal transfer from Gurgaon office to Mumbai. Here, like, you know, I born and brought up here in like Haryana, like Gurgaon, Faridabad, Delhi NCR is, you can say, place of my birth and where I grew up. You know, taking up a decision for moving from your hometown to some different place is again moving out of the comfort zone, right? Mumbai being a financial hub, we all know, like in India, like Mumbai is like a New York. It's a financial hub for our country, and Delhi is probably like your San Francisco, or maybe you can say Washington DC, which is a capital hub. So I thought like it would be a great opportunity which firm is giving me to learn something new in a different sector as well as in the different geographical part of the India. So I took that opportunity and moved to PwC Mumbai. Work over there with many big pharmaceutical company, which is again listed here in India as well as in New York Stock Exchange. And then many media house, because like Mumbai is a hub of media house. So worked on many media house. After working there for a year, I took a transfer, or maybe I changed my job to EY Mumbai. Worked with EY Mumbai around 2.5 years. Again, with the big infra company, real estate company, manufacturing company, as well as industrial product company, including like technologies industry. And then after like around 7 years of experience with PwC and EY, I got an opportunity internationally as a head of internal auditor in a big international group, which is based in Dubai, and they have their plants in Nigeria and Senegal. So I was leading like 4 companies as a head of internal auditor over there, worked with them for around 1 year. And then I came back and joined EY GDS, which is like an offshore practice of EY. There I was working majorly for the West region of United States of America. Here we are auditing almost all the big company you can name it. I'm sure like we'll be working some of the other things on those, right? Then working there around 1.5 years, I got an opportunity to work for the EY US for almost 2 years. In 2018, we got a very big G360 engagement, which EY won for almost 83 countries in the world, for which the parent company was in US. For that, like the company has elected me to go for a rotation over there. Then I moved to EY US, worked there for around like 2 years for that big company. And simultaneously, when I was working over there, I was looking for the other opportunity, because like in this almost 12 years of my journey in the profession, I thought like if I need to move to the next level, I need something more to do in my life. Probably what the vision or what the wisdom I have developed over this 12 period, probably this job may not be able to get me there where I wanted to be in what period of time I wanted to be. So then I start doing my research. I did like at least you can say 8 to 9 months of detailed research about the industries, about the practices, or what is best in the US, which is not available or which has scarcity in the India probably. And then luckily I got partnered with a company called Surgent. They are into the learning management software. We are their, you can say, we are their first wholesale distributor for the pan-India market for all their learning management software. For that, we can discuss in detail later on. So this is about, you can say, my last 15 year of journey, or maybe my journey from education to employee to entrepreneur to entrepreneur. Why I said this journey probably be important for you guys. I'm sure like you all are studying in Christ University. Most of you are like financially capable or maybe strong, have a much better background from the education standpoint of view or from your social standpoint of view than me, I'm sure. But I'm sure there might be some people within this group who can correlate themselves with my story. So the learnings which I wanted to share with you from this story, or which is like my real life story, is a couple of things. One, probably never stop learning. Learning is the key to success. If you stop learning at any point of time or any age of your life, that means you have stopped yourself from moving ahead. If you see my life cycle from the 10th standard, there I visualize what I need to do next. As in when you move forward in your life, you get to know new things, you get to know new ventures, you get to know market dynamics, you meet with a lot of people, you understand a lot of things. At first glance, when you are just doing a first year of MBA, probably your thoughts are not so clear. But what you need to learn from this story is to take that courageous step. To take that step with the belief and confidence what you are doing. But those belief and confidence will come from the research which you have done. So whatsoever you will be doing in your life, make sure you'll be doing an appropriate research for that. That research will be the base for any decision you would be taking in your life, right? Second learning is never stay in your comfort zone. Comfort zone is something that will be killing you every day, and you won't be even able to realize that. From like the day one, the day I born, and then from the age till the age of 16, I learned anything and everything in Hindi. If I continued to be there in that comfort zone, would I be in a position to stand here in front of you and probably talking all this story, what I'm saying with the confidence? I'm sure answer is 100% no. So never stay in the comfort zone. If you're staying in comfort zone, that means in a way you are killing yourself, you're killing your growth. Look for the new opportunity, look for the new avenues, look for the new things, or look for the innovation, and try to get involved in those things. So that probably the other, you can say, the learning what I gained from my last 15 years of experience, which I wanted to share with you. And then all the time, whatever you are doing in your life, whether you are studying or after the study, whatsoever you want to do, whether in a job or you want to do your own practice or you want to do set up your own business. One thing you need to keep in mind, set the high goal. Always set the high goal. I'm telling you that keep you motivated, that keep you focused. If you are not setting a high goal, that means you are living in a comfort zone. And if you are living in a comfort zone, you're not going to lead anywhere in your life. Always set the high goal as max as you can think, as max as you can even imagine. I'm telling you, maybe sometime I set the goal which even though it's beyond my imagination just by looking at those, but once you set the goal, you start climbing toward it. I'm telling you. And as and when you start climbing toward it, you'll get to know a lot of new things. If you have not set that high goal, if you have not set that aggressive goal, probably you may not be in a position to understand the reality or probably the skill set you have or the skill set you will be able to develop. So that is the most important thing you need to do in your life, is setting the high expectation from yourself, set the aggressive and high goal and try to get there. But how you need to get there? You need to break that goal into the small pieces. And every day you need to invest your time and energy consistently looking at that goal. If anything you are doing beyond that goal, that means you will not be reaching at that goal at the time which you have set. So that's the most important learning. When I said, like in 10 years of when I started my career with PwC, I know in 10 years I need to hit that position. In that position, in that learning of 10 years, what wisdom you will be developing, what vision you will be developing is altogether different, which is unimaginable, I'm telling you. Stay focused, stay tuned with whatsoever you are doing, and the most important thing is, you can say, live with a vision and mission. It's something which would be dynamic at your age. I'm telling you, at your age, it would not be easy to make a 10-year plan or make a 5-year plan even, I'm telling you. But if you make a 12-month plan or a 15-month or 18-month plan and you stick to that plan, I think that's good enough. If you take an example of a small child, like the child born, so immediate after that, do you have an expectation he will start walking in next day? Or does the parent have an expectation that after a year he will start running around? The answer would be no. The answer would be no. The same way, as of now, you are MBA first year student. I can confidently say it's hard for you to make any 5-year or 10-year goal plan for you. But just make next 12-month goal and stick to it. The confidence comes from winning. If you make a goal for 1 month and you achieve that, you will definitely get a great confidence that yes, you can do. And those confidence will help you in making next 3 months plan, which you will be achieving. That confidence will help you to make your next 12-month plan. And once you get there, you would be in a position to make your 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan. And now, after experiencing so much and achieving so much, you will definitely would be in a position to make your 10-year goal sheet. If you see all the big company, you name it, whether it's Google, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Intel, whether it's Amazon, whether it's like EY, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, GT, any company you name it, they all have next 5 to 10 year vision and mission where they want to be. How they get there? Based on their experience. And where you are, you need to take those experience first. How you will be taking those experience? By practicing. Make a 1-year goal sheet, 1-month goal sheet, get there. You'll get a confidence. Then make a 3-month goal sheet, get there. You'll get a confidence to make a year plan. And then I'm telling you, after 2 years or 3 years, you would be in a position to write a goal sheet for your company. I'm telling you, if you practice this thing in next 3 years, you will be in a position to write a goal sheet for your own company, right? And the end of the story is that if I can do, I'm sure you all are very much intelligent than me, and you all are very much talented than me. You can do more than what I have achieved so far and what I'm going to be achieving in my life so far. So that's a small story which I thought to share with you. to help you understand your own capability, your own potential, and how you structured yourself and how you structured your thoughts, and how you can stay tuned and focused toward your goal to achieve something in your life, right? Other than that, like we discussed couple of things, like if you guys have any thought or question, I would be more than happy to answer in this story. But other than that, like we discussed, I have couple of other thoughts, or probably would be good if you can like use your notepad and pen and jot down couple of important things which I would love to share with you, and probably it will help you in shaping up your career and meeting your dreams, which include whether it's a dream for any good job or whether you have any dream to make your own setup. Right? Any questions so far before I jump into other topic like how to crack interview or industry expectation? Cool. So first thing I would like you guys to make a note is about like 5 superpower habits. That's something you should develop as early as possible. I'm telling you, as early you develop this habit, as early you reach to the ladder on the top of your organization, or if you wanted to set up something of your own. The first thing is develop a habit of reading. That's the most important. If you see like any billionaires or any, you can say, famous personality in the world, or any business icon or any business tycoon, the one thing you find very, very, very common is their learning habit, is their reading habit. If you can't read a book in a month or in a 15 days, then you won't be able to learn. If you won't be able to learn, you won't be able to grow. You know, learning is the, you can say, mantra of success. If you keep learning, if you invest time on yourself, you will be definitely reaching, or if you will be definitely achieving the goals you have set for yourself. So first habit is you should have a great reading habit. In addition to that, I like to add 2 more things. One is the reading habit. It's more important what you read, you learn as well. You know, most of the seminar or most of the, you can say, people you might have here, they'll say develop a reading habit. But in addition to that, it's more important, or most important, learn from that reading. You know, so probably for some people it take long time to understand the theme of the story or understand what they are reading, right? So you invest that time in developing that learning habit through the reading. Why I'm focusing or forcing more on reading? It has 2 impact in it. One, it goes into your mind through your eyes. And second, your mind will automatically, you can say, punch those statements, what you read. And when you focus on reading to the learning, it will stem or fix in your upper mind. And then what you learn, what next thing you should do in extension of that is try to visualize this thing. That's a most important, or you can say most powerful tool. First is developing a reading habit, turning that reading habit into the learning. And then once you learn, the most important thing is visualizing that thing. Nothing can be achieved unless and until you visualize that thing, I'm telling you. So that's the most important thing what you need to develop if you want to grow in your life. Second thing, or you can say second superpower I would like to share with you is develop a habit of presentation. When you speak, you say the word who you are and what you are. So it's the most important or the powerful tool of how you are presenting yourself, how you are presenting your thoughts, how you are presenting what you have learned. Don't copy and paste the tools, techniques which others do. Learn from them, but develop something of your own, I'm telling you. That would be your unique signature style of making the presentation. This will make you distinct from the competitor. I'm telling you, the people a lot of the time, wherever I go for seminar or webinar with the students, the most worried among themselves, how do I make myself different from my peers to get a good job or to get a good business or to get a good funding for the business. How you can do that is only and only the way is your way of presentation and communication. If your way of presentation and communication is unique and convincing, then you can win the world, I'm telling you. If you see any leader in the world, one thing you will find very, very common among them is their presentation and communication skill. Whether it's in Hindi, whether it's in English, whether it's Russian, it's Chinese, it hardly matters. What matters most is how you are presenting yourself and how you are communicating yourself. Third powerful tool, or you can say superpower, I would like to share with you is always make the note of your learnings. Wherever you go in any session like this, or wherever you go in your classroom, or wherever you learn anything which you feel is important in building your career or in building your dream, you must have your notepad and pen with you, and you must be taking the notes for all the key points. Why I'm telling you to make the note? Why all the teachers all the time force us to make the note? Because there is a theory behind it. What theories say? It's a neurology theory. When you read something, you understand that thing at one go, but when you write something, it will be double fixed in your mind. And once you recall 2 times, it will be definitely fit into your upper mind or your back mind or your conscious mind or in your subconscious mind. That's the reason all the time, maybe from your first standard till your MBA classes, all your teachers all the time would be saying to you, make your notes. That's the reason, because it's a neuro theory behind it. When you make the notes for the key points, it will double time register in your conscious and subconscious mind. Right? And then once you look at those notes again, it will come into your behavior. Whatsoever I have learned, it has played very, very important role. In my college day, even though when I was doing my GMCS classes in my CA, the name the colleagues given me is notepad. I was carrying all the time notepad and pen wherever I go. Because in the world, wherever you go, 2 things. Again here, you should go or you should invest your time where you would be learning something. That's most important to get quick and easy and fast growth in your life. If you are wasting your time in those areas or those topics or maybe in those habits which will not be taking you to anywhere in your life, that means we all have limited time in our life. And everyone says time is precious. It's you who need to choose where you want to invest the time or where you want to spend the time. If you're going to invest the time in some learning session in your college, in any extracurriculum activity or any business learning environment or any session like this, you should be taking 100% attention. You should be paying 100% attention and taking as much as notes you can. Because this session probably your college would not be arranging all the time. Or probably this kind of faculty who are teaching you either in this kind of session or probably in your routine of MBA classes would not be teach you the same thing again and again. If you miss this time, it will not come back again. Right? The 4th thing, which I can again say is a superpower in this word and in the words of time to come, is your network. Whether you are in job or you are doing your own practice or you are setting up your own business, your network is your net worth, I'm telling you. But it's important here to understand what kind of network you should have. Network can be a good network or can be a bad network. It's you who need to choose. There are many theories in the world which says you are an average of the 5 people with whom you spend most of your time, right? Same theory goes here in your network as well. So it's you who will choose the right network, and that right network is very important. First thing, whenever you are choosing the network, choose the right people with whom you want to spend most of your time. One, with whom you get inspired, with whom you get motivated, with whom you learn something. And second most important thing, do's are good, but again, the most important thing here is don'ts as well. You need to carve out those networks. Probably you might have some school friend, you might have some neighbor friend, you might have some other friends as well, which is not connected or taking you to your goals. As important the do's are, similarly, or you can say the most important are don'ts as well. You need to eliminate or carve out those networks, whether it's your family. Sometime, like in the family also, you may see a lot of negative people around you, all the time bullying others, all the time saying negative things about the world, and all the time they have like negative thoughts about other, and all the time they first look at the negative side of the impact. They don't look at the positive things. I know, being a wise man or a woman, nothing gender biased, we should be understanding both the things. Whenever we are in any situation, we should look at both positive things as well as negative things. But those conscious or unconscious decisions should be yours under the guidance of your mentors, who is the subject matter expert. You should not be taking the guidance from your from the people who are not subject matter expert. Most of the time when we are in education, when we are dependent on our parents or on our relative or on family member, we take advice from them. But what mistake we do, or sometimes what mistake we do, is we do not reach out to the subject matter expert. We just, because to be very honest, some of your parents might not be so well educated, might not be aware of the new words which is coming in future, might not be aware of what's going in the market, and might not be aware of the deception which is going in the market. So may not be in a position to give you right guidance or right mentoring or probably the right approach of dealing with the things. So here the most important thing for you to identify your mentor, your guide, your coach very, very wisely. And for different topic, you might have different coach. For different topic, you might have different guide. For different topic, you might have different mentor. There should not be the one mentor for anything and everything. Those days were gone, where like Chanakya was the whole soul mentor of Chandragupta Maurya. Nowadays, everyone try to get an expertise in one thing. So in whatsoever the situation you are, take the guidance from those experts only, rather than just believing on what your brother says, what your sister says, what your friend says, what your mom says, what your dad says, or what your relative says. That's the most important thing. Here, when you're building your network, you should have network with all kind of mentor, counselor, coach, and guide of those line of expertise in which you want to develop your career, in which you want to make your future. Right? Fifth and the most powerful tool, or you can say superpower, I believe, is initiative and courage to do something. Most of the people in the world, I can say, if you within your friend circle, and you can take the real life example from your friend circle, how many of you wants to do job, and how many of you think about doing your own business? If you look at your internal friend circle, most of you would like to do something of your own, right? Say yes or no. Am I getting bored? Are you guys getting bored, or it's just too much of gyan?
No,
Still
sir.
yes.
It
No.
is a great
Good.
experience.
I would.
With you.
Yeah, I would like to hear a response from you. What most of your friends says, they wants to do something of their own. Yes or no?
Yeah, sir. They
Yeah,
are
most of
always
the
saying,
time. Yeah, most of the time you'll be listening from your friends. They wants to do their own.
yeah,
But how much actually do? Almost 95% don't do. I'm telling
yeah,
you. This is from my like last 15, or in fact, you can say I'm 36 year of age. So it's been my 36 year of experience. Like since my school days, there are always friends get together. Like we have, you can say tea discussion, coffee discussion, and you also have drink discussion. But all the time, end of discussion, we would like to do something of our own. But how many of them have done so far? Less than 5%, I'm telling you. Why they get failure, why they don't do? Because they lack the courage, they lack in the initiative to do something different, which is not normal. Or they want to live in a secure life, or they want to live in the within the norm which has been structured by you can say our society. You know, if you look at any big businessman, any big tycoons, or anyone who has achieved something great in their life, one thing you will find very, very common: they have taken the initiative. Failure is the part of journey. Failure is not the end. And second thing, I'm telling you what most of the student or most of the young people like you won't embrace or won't accept is the failure. You know, we most of Indian, we all have fear of failure because of the society. What you need to understand here is failure is an event. Failure is not a person. There is not even a single successful person in the world who has not gone through so many failures. If you look at the example of Einstein, as more than 100,000 times he got failed. If you look at Elon Musk, how many times the space jet which he is inventing is still getting failed, right? Despite of, if you look at recent our Indian example of ISRO, the Chandrayaan 2, that has also like got failed. But what does it mean? Do we stop learning? Do we stop inventing? Do we stop ourselves in taking the decision? The answer is no. We should like remove from these blockages in our mind that failure is me, failure is person. No, failure is just an event in the journey of success. No success can be achieved without the failure. If you just look at the small baby example, how many times he or she fall down before he or she start walking? At that point of time, our parents encourage the kids to get up. But when in our life we get fail, why that society get changed? Let the society be what they are. But what we need to understand is believing in yourself. That's the most important thing, and should not let down ourselves with the failure. So if you habit, or if you learn from these 5 super habits, I'm telling you in next couple of years, you will be reaching the heights in your career, whatsoever you will be doing. Coming to the third point, any questions so far from these 5 habits which I've shared with you before I jump into the next thing?
thank you, sir, for your such a extensive sharing of knowledge and the power tools you shared with us. Let us also ask Santosh sir about the scope of in MBA for for a finance student also.
Yes, we
Uh,
are coming to that. Don't worry. We are fully prepared. We are coming to
See,
that.
actually,
Let me finish a few more. Yes, Santosh.
yeah, Saurabh, Saurabh, will take the question actually. So I think, we'll spend more time. I think, that will be very, that's what will give the tips. And I think I mean, most of the things, what we have seen in 14, 15 years, I think, Kamal is mentioning in 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
that's
sir.
a good thing, actually.
Just allow me
Yeah.
like next few more minutes
Okay, sir, no problem.
to give you some more tips. I'm sure these tips will automatically answer what question you have. I'm telling you like 80 to 90% of question will automatically get answered through what thoughts and what learnings we are sharing with you. But still, don't worry. If required, we are like me and Santosh both are comfortable to extend the session if needed. But I'm sure within the time will be clear of most of your doubts. Don't worry about it. So the next thing what I wanted to share with you, or most of the students like you come, is about how to crack the interviews. What I should do to get a good job, and what all skill set I need to develop to be crack my exams and crack the interviews in one go. So first thing, like you can make a note, is the preparation. That is the most important thing. So whenever you are going for any interview for any company, first you need to understand what company is doing. Second, what is their job description is. Third thing, aligning your understanding, what you have learned in a theory and what you have learned in your experience with those job description, and making some keynotes for yourself, so that when any question has been asked in the interview, you would be in a better position to articulate and share your experience, example, theories, whatsoever you have learned. And most important thing, which probably some of the student may not embrace or appreciate, is understanding the company goal. Understanding why company is hiring you for this position. What is the company expectation on this position from any new hire, right? So you need to do your own research. One, understanding the company, understanding their business, understanding about the job profile, understanding about the expectation from the job profile. And then the most important thing is your subject matter expertise for that particular job. So these things you can make note, like do your complete research of whatever the company you're going to give interview. Second thing, make sure you have subject matter expertise. Third, and you can say the soft skill, which is being very important in the interview as well as post interview in your job or all the time in your life, is the positive attitude. That is the most important thing. Sometimes people get offensive, sometimes people get aggressive, but they're like your HR person or the person who will be taking your interview, he or she has already been passed through those stage of their life, so they can immediately catch you in which emotion set of mind you are. How you need to show yourself calm, positive, whether you pass or you fail. The failure is an event, like I told you. It should not impact your emotion at that point of time. I know we need to go back and learn something more, do more research, but at that point of time, whether you pass or not, you should not show your emotion. You should all the time be the positive attitude. And whatsoever you are communicating at the time of interview, your confidence level matter the most. I'm telling you. How confident you are, how clear you are, how better you present. These are the key things to crack the interview. And then sometime, like when me and Santosh, we take the interviews, people do not accept their mistake. Like being myself, like despite of 15, 16 years of experience, or being yourself have like around 20 years of studies, in which you have learned theoretical thing, and at the same time you have done a lot of internship as well. You gain some experience, but something you might not be knowing, right? Something I might not be knowing. So don't feel the interviewer who is taking your interview would not be able to understand whether you are saying right or whether you are saying wrong, or you are accepting the mistake or not. Accepting the mistake is a positive attitude. I'm telling you, if you're not accepting the mistake, you won't be growing your life, right? And then what after an interview or within the interview, an interviewer take is how good is your learning attitude toward the new things. Probably in the interview, there might be few things which you might not be knowing. How you showcase, how you demonstrate yourself that you have a learning attitude to learn those things which you probably don't know at the time of interview. And then probably if you get a chance within the interview to, based on any, you can say, practical experience or any, you can say, uh, uh, case study based interview, how you can showcase yourself that you are thinking out of the box, you are thinking innovatively, and you are giving more effective and efficient solution to the problem. So that again would be a good tip and tool at that point of time, how active you are listening. That comes with the active listening skill as well. So these are a couple of tools and tips I can say you can keep in mind. And I'm sure like Santosh might have a lot of other things also to add. But before that, I want you to make a note of, you can say, a couple of resources which I have jotted down specifically for you. How you will be getting, most of the students like you say, where do I get internship, a good internship? And what are the resources I should look for to get a good job? Maybe I made a small summary of couple of resources. If you can jot down, that probably would be very helpful tools or resource for you. One is AIESEC membership. So that's called ASIC membership. So this membership is generally for the international internship. This is a group where the people get exchange all over the world. So from India, you can get an internship in UK, you can get an internship in US, you can get an internship in Australia, Middle East, China, or different region. And same way, those different country people get the internship to the India, China, or other part of the world. So it's an like platform to get an international internship experience where you can apply and share your resume and submit your request. You'll be definitely getting some or the other option to get some international internship, which can be your summer internship or which can be like internship before the job, whatever the area of interest you would like. This is very good resource. You can definitely search for it, or you can definitely submit for it. And second thing, what student most of the time says, what type of social group I should be part of, which probably help me in getting the good jobs or getting the internship in future. So one would be, you can say, the niche group or very close group to you is your alumni group, for which you all have access, right? Second thing would be in a social network. If you see like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, there are a couple of groups which provide specifically the internship, which helps the both local as well as international internship, as well as local or international jobs, which can be like, if you have heard about a website, its name is intershala.com, or there is one more website which name is letsintern.com. So these are like maybe a couple of websites. They have their business page on the LinkedIn as well as Facebook, where you can join their group to get more networking for your internship program. And
Mr. Kamal, sir, could you please repeat those website links once again? For the sake of students, I'm going to put it in the chat window.
One is intershala.com.
Intershala.com. Okay.
Second is letsintern.com.
Yes, sir.
And then on the Facebook and LinkedIn, there's a group called Work and Travel.
Okay.
And there's a group of freelancers. Okay. And there's a group of e-lancer. So these pages probably you can join, and you will definitely get a good lead for your internships. And then the one thing, if you want to do something out of the league, is make your research paper, make some white paper in collaboration with some you can say some HR people in the organization, some finance people in the organization, or some experts in the organization. So from your social network, whether it's your personal network, professional network, whether you're alumni, or whether all the resources which I have shared, if you come across with something or maybe some professional of your line in which you want to move, would be great if you can collaborate with him or her and make some research paper or white paper and publish them. Through publishing those white paper and research paper, you will be demonstrating yourself that you are unique from the crowd. And from those research papers submission in itself, you will start getting a lot of internship and job opportunities, I'm telling you, because 99.99% people don't do that. It's only 0.001% people. And it's not hard, I'm telling you, but it's something people either are not aware of or people are not ready to take that thing. But in your MBA curriculum, if you make any research paper or white paper relating to the job you want to be, then it will definitely hit you to the right person, right place at the right time, right? So these are a couple of tools. In addition to that, like sometimes the student says, where should I look for the placement support or internship support? There are so many websites. Maybe you can make a jot down the name of a couple of websites. I'm sure you all are very well aware of linkedin.com, that at this point of time is the biggest professional network or platform in the world. I'm telling you. Second, you have like naukri.com, you have timesjob.com, you have monster.com, you have shine.com, you have indeed.com, you have freelancer.com, you have fresherworld.com. That probably help you to get a good internship. This is also a very good site, fresherworld.com. They help a lot of people to get a good internship, and after the completion of MBA, they help a lot of people to support getting their first job. The freshlife.com and freshworld.com. These two websites are majorly for the freshers MBA student. And then you have employer website where you can go, and on the employer you can say LinkedIn page, Facebook page, Instagram page. There also they post a lot of their openings. And then I'm not sure whether you heard about or not. There's a website called glassdoor.com. That is also very it started with US and now it's growing all over the world. And now it has catered to lot of the big MNCs in India as well. And then you have Hiry.com. Hiry.com is very unique, you know. Hiry.com people go for the immediate joining. That means it's the best website for the fresher or the people who are in the notice period. They give you immediate job. They will take you, like there's no notice period required. There's no, you can say waiting period required. If you go on a Hiry.com, submit your resume, whatsoever the job you'll be getting from the day one itself. That's something unique feature, or you can say a new website which has good market space. And then you have careerbuilder.com. That's also a very good website. So these are a couple of websites which you can visit for your internship as well as to get your first job. And then you can reach out to many placement firms. There are so many, if you do like just a Google research, find top 10 consulting firm in the world, top 10 consulting firm in the India, I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of good names. So reaching out to those, and then some people from majorly from the MBA background or fresh graduate, they say like to whom they should connect in the office to get the job. So who would be the right person to knock the door? So based on like our experience is being like HR and talent team, who is always be the first point of contact in all the big company. But in small and mid-sized company, you can reach out directly to the decision maker as well, right? And then, other than that, if you say about like interview or job search, I think these are like platter of information I have shared. I'm sure this information would be very, very helpful for you, and it probably might have addressed some of your questions you might have. And the next thing is about what I generally got a question is like industry expectation and the future of finance. Industry expectation from the fresher or fresh MBA student is when we think about MBA, what comes first in our mind as an employer is being the person who has subject matter expertise and who is having a strong communication and presentation skill. These are, you can say, top two quality what comes first in our mind as an employer or as an entrepreneur when you look for an MBA hiring. You should have core expertise in the area you want to work, whether it's accounting, it's finance, it's advisory, it's compliance, it's costing, management reporting, risk management, internal audit, budgeting, planning, researching, educator, whatsoever the domain you want to go in future. The basic expectation is that you should have expertise or subject matter expertise or core competency on those subjects. And second and most important thing for which any company hire an MBA is your presentation and communication skill. And now the third thing which is most trending in the market is tech shaviness. You know, it's a new buzzword which has taken birth in last 5 to 7 years, but now it's in very much demand, or all the recruiter as well as all the company wants the MBA to hire who are very, very tech savvy. The reason being is the disruption, because the market is so dynamic, it's changing all the time. Being like me and people like me, Santosh, who have like 15 years of experience, and the people like senior to us who have like 20-year experience, 25-year experience, 30-year experience, we guys are not as tech savvy, but we expect the new people who are joining us should be very, very well versed of the technologies so that they can bridge the gap. We can share the knowledge and they can embrace the knowledge with the technology to make the organization to the next level. So that's three basic expectation when anyone think about MBA hiring. Rest all comes in your job description or in your interview, or probably some of the tools and tips in the interview section I have shared with you. And then the future of finance, I think, is something you should know before we close the session, because that's very critical and very important for you to know what's going on in the market and what is expected to be in the market when you will be completing your MBA, or maybe a year after MBA or 2 years after MBA. So one thing you definitely need to learn is the data analytics. This is something you cannot escape. Whether you are graduate, whether you are MBA, whether you are CA, CS, ICW, anything in the finance, account, audit, or business domain, you should know data analytics. That is must skill set to have for the future of finance. If you do not know how to analyze the data, how to convert the data into the meaningful information, how to present that data or those meaningful information to the management, that means you are not meeting the future basic expectation which the industry would have from you in future when you will be completing your MBA. That is something you must need to do. Second thing is coming in future is the robotic process solutions and the artificial intelligence. Now, if you go to, you can say, if you search top 10 universities in the world, whether it's Howard, it's Stanford, Columbia, Pennsylvania, or any top 10 university in the world, They have already created the online learning management course on the artificial intelligence and robotic process solution. In your extra time, I would highly recommend you to look at those courses. Maybe take a free demo. They provide like couple of days free demo. If it generates your interest, I would highly recommend you to do those small certification course, because by this you will understand and embrace what's coming in the future of finance. If you do not know anything about robotic process solution, if you do not know anything about machine learning, if you do not know anything about AI, which is coming in future, it would be disaster to you, I'm telling you. So all your education will give you the core understanding, but along with those core understanding, you need to develop this future skill set to make yourself future ready for the finance. And one more thing, if any of you in future wants to go into the education, the most trending thing in the education is adaptive learning. So in future, if you want to go into the teaching profession, or you want to set up your own institute, you want to set up your own college, you want to set up your own university. So adaptive learning is something which is the future of education, right? And then in addition to that, you can learn about big data, management of big data, blockchains, or Data Privacy Act or Data Security Act. High pays in India and in the world. So these are the things probably you can make a note, and you should definitely learn some of the other things out of it in next 1.5 year of your MBA. From your peers as well as the competition. Most of the time, like student like you will ask me the competition, will ask us the how tough is the competition in job market. I'm telling you, the competition is not tough. We as an employer are always have scarcity of resources. People do not have skill set to fill that job. You know, like me, Santosh, we worked in the leadership of EY. We, like EY required in next 3 years, more than 15,000 qualified professional like you. But they are not getting right set of people, right skill set of people. So what I shared from my experience in last 60 minutes almost, if you have diligently make the notes of that, I'm telling you, if you work on those for next 1 year, there is no one can stop you to get the right job and right opportunity at the right amount which you deserve the most. There is no competition for the people who have skill set. The competition is only for the people who do not have right skill set. That's the most important thing, or that's the key learning skill, key learning from the overall session. And then in some of the session, like people say, how to turn from like employment to entrepreneur and to the entrepreneur. That's again a different story, and that's again a different journey. You know, the responsibility is something which is being taken and accepted by the one. It's not something which is delegated anyone. If you do not accept the responsibility, you won't be delivering. So whosoever say whatsoever to you. The most important thing, if you take the responsibility of your future, and if you take the responsibility where you want to be there in next couple of years or next couple of months, and if you diligently work toward it, you will definitely get there, right? I know I took most of your time, but me and Santosh are more than happy to extend like for a few minutes if you want. I'm sure by last like 1 hour, whatsoever I have speak, might have addressed a couple of your questions, but if you have more questions, so we would be more than happy to answer. So I'll take a pause here, and, and let's go with the panel discussion or Q&A session what you have, and then me and Santosh would be more than happy to answer.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, thank you for that wonderful insights. So, sir, as you told, you have addressed most of
your voice is not audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that wonderful insight, sir. So, you covered most of the points that we were supposed to ask. So, sir, the thing that or the topic that we would like to ask to Santosh, sir, is like, sir, the interest is growing in the soft skills area as well as in the small certification courses. People are focusing more on that during the pandemic situation. So, sir, as a employer, how are you thinking? Like, how would these courses and how are soft skills going to help us in the long run?
Yeah, thank you, Blessing. See, what happens, when I do the interview, I mainly look into two things actually. The first thing, technical aspect, yes, that is also very important. But, since you guys are from BCom and, MBA finance, so I will not be more interested to know what is, cash flow statement, what is, ratio analysis. I'm not be very much interested because if I see the certificate, if I see your resume, I can see that, no, this person has got, 89%, 90%, 95%. So it gives that indication that, no, this guy is academically very strong. So that is what, I get the indication. I don't have to repeat what your university is prepared. I mean, kind of, they give the questions, they give the answers. So I don't repeat that same process actually. So what I do, I mainly look into whether he's able to translate. Example, you have learned cash flow statement or you have learned financial statement analysis. So I want to understand whether you are able to translate that, or whether you can kind of translate that whatever knowledge you got into this practical scenario. So that is what I want to know actually. So to express this, actually, you have to have that right. So I mean, I've seen most of the people actually. If you being from the industry, I've seen there are various colleges in Bangalore and South India. So those colleges are very, very, very good in terms of commerce and accounting. But when I go for the interview and I do the interview with the people, so they have the knowledge actually. I say, how do you interpret this? How do you, if I give the case study and ask them to interpret, how do you, kind of, they find a solution, or, they have the problem solving capacity. But, they have, I've seen that, they have got very good capacity to break that, ice actually. But what happens because of they lack in, convincing capacity actually. So that is what interviews, kind of, kind of two, minds actually, interviewer and interviewer. The two minds should meet actually. It's not that now whatever you say you should. I mean, it's not like an examiner. He's expecting the right answer, or it's not that now you have. You cannot expect that. You should ask only the questions from whatever is there in the syllabus. It's not like that actually. So basically, he's going to see whether you are trainable. So that is what any employer will see. Whether I take Saurav, I take Harshita or anybody actually. So I have to see that whether this guy, I have trained this. Can I train this person? So whether he'll be committed actually. So forget about the knowledge or forget about what you get. But I also see whether the person is committed actually. So normally any organization, it takes almost 6 months to 1 year. They invest on the person. They invest on a person. They invest on training the person and other things. So that is what big investment for any organization. So one organization, you not like this process. I want to go to the next. I want to because my or my friend is there in the other company. People they Kamal mentioned that there's so job portals actually. First, you have to know the job portals and see that you have to review the companies. There'll be so many companies review. If you go to Glassdoor, you get companies review how they treat the people and so unless see what has happened, this is a competitive. So unless I express what is mind, the other person cannot. You just give a piece of paper, he'll crack the questions. Give consolidation question, he'll crack the question. But the thing is, he is not able to convince that particular interviewer. So that becomes a kind of lag in interview process. So I request, or I kind of urge you people, first try to rehearse yourself actually whenever you are going for the interview. Just you have so many interviews, or you can ask your friends to give a kind of a mock interview, something like that. So there's no don't have to feel shy about that. So that is what it's a kind of helping each other actually. Ask your friend, so let them be kind of a panelist, let them interview you, and that is what you see whether you're able to convince the interviewer. So that is very, very important. So for your question, soft skills are playing very important, and whenever you go for the interview, you should be presentable to the interviewer. So that's the question.
Thank you.
Thanks, Santosh. One quick thing I would like to add to your question, like the certifications, additional things what you can learn. So like I initially shared about like data analytics, that is something you need to learn. In addition to that, for like the finance profession in future, there are a couple of other courses which are like short courses, which include like USCPA, and that's very much in demand. It has only 4 subjects and only 4 exams, and now the exams happen in India as well. And then you have like CMA, Certified Management Accountant, that only has like 2 exams, can be done in like 4 to 5 months. And then you have like Enroll Agent, US Enroll Agent course, which is like US Taxation Expert course. It can be done in just 3 months. And now like exams happen in India for those courses. And then if you want to make your career in internal audit, so you have like Certified Internal Auditor course. That's again a US course, which has only 1 exam, can be done in like 3 to 4 months. And then if you want to make your career in IT sector, IT audit specifically, then you have CISA course, which is again has 1 exam, can be done in like 3-4 months. And then if you want to make specialization of yourself in like investment banking, or you can say fund management, asset management, then I think you have CF, but that's very long certification program. And if you want to go into like banking in industry or mutual fund industry, investment banking industry, there's one more course called FRM, Financial Risk Management. That is a short course, can be done in like 3-4 months. And then if you are planning to go into like accounting profile, audit profile, or maybe more of you can say management reporting profile, you can look for like IFRS diploma. That's again can be done in like 2 months or 3 months at the max easily. So there are so many courses available in India which can be done in like 3 months to 12 months alongside with your MBA program itself, which you can do to make yourself like to give yourself an edge over your peers. Yeah.
So
does this answer your question?
Just to add on to what Kamal mentioned, I mean I'm reminding that one. I mean the education what your university is providing, it's absolutely fantastic actually, because I am involved in various colleges, various university. They also kind of have a board of studies. They invite people from the industry, and they also ask what is that you want from our student. So depending on the feedback, they're going to design the program actually. So I think most of the people they have a very strong foundation in whatever curriculum, accounting and finance and MBA finance. So they have a very strong kind of, apart from this as Kamal mentioned, we need to do that ice in the cake actually. So like you have to do some small certification course, then it gives very a good advantage when you go to the interview.
Yeah, cool. Does this answer your question?
Yes, sir, perfectly.
Yes.
So, sir, I had a question. Like, any tips for an MBA graduate who wants to start his career in the capital markets in India?
Santosh, favorite question for you.
Yeah, I think that is a very good thing actually. So there are so many short-term courses actually. If you see the SEBI, it's conducting. I mean, sorry, the BS Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. It is conducting a very small courses actually, kind of a diploma or kind of a certification course that really if you kind of do the courses, it will give kind of edge in your interview. And some of the organization they it is a capital market is very it's an ocean, and it's very technical topic actually. So what they think actually, when you go to the interview, some of the interviews, and whatever you have the basic knowledge in your MBA and in your BCom, so that is more than sufficient. You have to brush up, and you have to translate yourself to be a trainable person actually. So I think most of the organization, if you see Goldman Sachs, if you see State Street, if you see other organization, they take the people, freshers actually with, some kind of a certification, small certification, and they train you on various tools they have actually. So in State Street, we train the person who is having a good knowledge, and we train him on various tools actually. We have MCH, that is how do you account a particular transaction and things like that actually. So that's what my suggestion is: do a small certification course, very small certification course along with your MBA. So then you will be kind of more marketable in terms of interview.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, so I have a question on that. Kamal, so you spoke about the lot of certifications program. So I have questions like, as an MBA student, we passed out. So do you think that MBA is not job ready without certification programs?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Not at all like that. Like everyone look at MBA as a base or as a foundation thing, So you in your curriculum you have all, you can say, subject matter expertise, and in addition to that, what we are saying are these international course. So you are definitely job ready after the MBA once you are done. But if you are looking for opportunities in the international market, probably these kind of certification may help you easily placing over there. So it's just like cherry on the top, or like ice on the cake, like Santosh said, nicely said. It's nothing like MBA Finance have almost covered anything and everything which these professional courses are covered. But when you go into the international market, when you go into the global market, they some of the certification they prefer, and some of the certification they already been aware of, or some of the, you can say, their team member who has done these kind of certification are on the you can say executive roles, or is on the position of decision making. So it may be easily help you correlating the things or getting a better position in the global market.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
There are some questions on the chat window. I think Saurav, you want to take up these questions. Students are more specifically answering the course names, list of courses given by Mr. Kamal earlier. So
yeah. So there is one question that the certification they want in career in the reporting and analysis. Yeah. So
yeah. So couple of certification. It depends on where you want to work. If you want to go into like Indian companies and reporting only in India, I think your MBA Finance is more than enough. What you're doing. If you are planning to go in MNC, which is if it's a US based MNC, then I would highly recommend to do a US CPA. If you are planning to look at for some European nation based MNCs or other than US based MNC, then I think IFRS diploma, which is like quick 2 months diploma, that probably help you in getting better equipped for the international financial reporting.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is one more question that the what skills are required in your position in one day-to-day basis. So what we learn day-to-day basis to improve our skills. You mentioned reading is there, and what other thing we can add?
Like a couple of the things which come slowly and gradually with the experience. But if you say at like as a business owner or as a managerial position or as an executive position, few things are main to understand. For me personally, the most important thing is the teaming skill. How good you are in managing the team. It will not only the people who are junior to you, to be very honest, it's saying about 360 degrees. So being at executive level or manager level or at entrepreneur level, whatsoever you are thinking or whatsoever you are dealing, you just need to keep in mind 360-degree angle. You cannot skip even a 1-degree angle, to be very honest, whatsoever you will be doing. When I'm saying the most important thing for me is the people, whether it's being employee, whether it's being my supplier, whether it's being my vendor, whether it's being my customer, or whether it's being my stakeholder or my bosses. So most important thing for me to play around is having an overall great coordination among all of them, whether it's being employee, whether it's vendor, supplier, customer, stakeholder, or as well as like government stakeholder, to be very honest. So for me, the most important thing is the people skill, which include your interpersonal skills, how well you communicate, how well you present, how well you can share your thoughts. You know, probably like in early age when I was in your age, probably we may not be in a position to structure our thought to share what exactly we are feeling about that particular situation or about that particular problem. You know, that's something take time and come over the period of time when you experience those. So in those, like how I learned those things is based on taking my time, making my notes, and then sharing my experience. And slowly and gradually by doing the practice, I'm comfortable in sharing and articulating all my thoughts, whether it's with my peers, with my bosses, with my juniors, with my vendor, with my customer. That's most important thing. Second thing is the quality in deliver. Whatsoever is your delivery, it speaks about what you are and what your company is, I'm telling you. So what is finally going out from your desk is the most important thing for you, because it carries your value, it carries your face, and it carries your name. So that's the most important thing. Whatsoever is going out from your table, for that you will be taking the responsibility, whether it's right or it's wrong. So for you, it's being very, very important to make sure whatsoever you delivered, it carry the quality. Third thing is, I'll say, the operational efficiency. How good you are at like manager level or at a leadership level in managing the overall operation. You know, sometimes we create a lot of trackers, we create a lot of, you can say, different files, we create a lot of, you can say, business unit. Probably that may not be required. So you need to learn how you need to run the organization, or how you need to run within your cluster or within your business unit the overall show with more effective and efficiently, which will be saving your time, your team's time, as well as your boss time. So that's most important thing. And the success, or you can say the key to success for a leadership, or the path to success for a leadership, is again going back to my initial discussion which I shared, is setting up a high goal. Setting up a high goal for yourself, setting up a high goal for your team. And then make sure you are focused toward it, you are dedicated toward it, you are committed toward it, and you are consistent in achieving those things. And same applies to your team. Being a leader, it's not important what you do. What is important as a team, what you do, right? So here, whenever we are at starting level, probably we feel like I'm doing good, but the other person is not doing good. But nobody can win a match which required a team effort without the other being also equally effective and equally efficient. So that's something you need to be a good team player, good motivator, or good team builder. So these are a couple of skills, or maybe like things you need to keep in mind as you grow in the ladder. rather than just focusing on your individual improvement, individual skill set. That's very important. But at the same time, how comfortable you are in passing on your knowledge, how confident you are in developing your team, how confident you are developing or sharing your thoughts with the leadership and with the team, so that we all are on the same page and playing as a good team. Yeah, Santosh, would you like to add your thoughts in it?
See, I feel that the corporate is that corporate is always pyramid hierarchy, the hierarchy, in the pyramid structure. So normally thousands of people, if it is very big company, thousands of people join in an entry level. So if you join the entry level, if you're not that is a comfort zone actually, then you always need to see that now how do you grow into next level. So that is what very, very key. And I feel that being more visible actually, you have to be more visible to the organization, to your your boss, and whenever go thinking out of the box actually. You should not just do whatever is given to you. Just I have given 1 2 3 tasks. Doing that 1 2 3 task is not it is meeting the expectations. Then at the end of the year you go and say that I've done so many work, and I've stretched so much, and at the end of the day you're giving only meeting the expectation feedback. But what is expected from you, because you guys are very young, and you have that zeal, because you're out of the college, and you have you have discussed, or you have dealt with various innovative mind. So what is that required need of the hour is you have to think out of the box, or you have to be more visible in terms of team actually help others, and know, I mean, if you are doing a particular process, it is expected to know the entire bigger picture and see what is that in store actually. Now example, you are given a small tick and tie of a particular job. So you have a financial statement, you have a small tick and tie of the job. So understand the financial statement, understand the big picture of a financial statement. Where do you get this number? Which team is giving that? What is the role of a custodian? So what is the role of inventory management? Understand that and see whether you are your zeal, or your whatever the knowledge you have, so it can be fit into that position actually. So you have to keep on. It is learning is always continuous. Keep on learning at all the stage. Even I and Kamal, even at this age also, we still learn actually. Learning is never ending, because if I don't learn, what will happen? The competitor will take that position actually. He'll my peer or my competitor, my colleague, he'll go up the ladder actually, because I don't have I don't do that homework. That is what need of the art. You have to keep on continuously learning, and that is what. And one more thing, when you go to the organization, there's a saying that a man who always asks a question, he can be people will make him a fool for a minute actually. People will laugh at him. Oh, that person is asking a silliest question. So that's fine. Only for a minute he's he'll be called as a fool. But the person who is not asking the question, he'll be the fool for his life actually. So that is what that is a small tip from us. So be more visible to the employer, and take more additional steps actually, because you people are young, you don't have a family, much family commitment. Please take more additional responsibility, so that you get more knowledge, not get more promotion, or go more feedback. Take more and more responsibility, take more learning. This is a learning. So this is the age actually, up to 30 years you have very good brain capacity is very good. You can learn many things actually. So please use that knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. There is one last question, sir. All of your question has already answer given by you. This is the last question I would like to ask. Are there are opportunity for self-employment in finance for the women?
Yeah, so two questions I understand here. One is there any opportunity for like MBA finance? So I think for that, we have a detailed talk session, which we do with like many other university, which we called like how to start a startup. And we also have the talk, which is again like 1 hour, 1.5 hour talk, which is on fundraising. And we also have a session similar to this. We give how to convert passion into profession. And we have another the talk session, which is how to build a high performing team. And one more session I can recall, which we have given recently, is how to sell. So I think this question in itself has you can say, required a detailed time and dedicated session. So maybe like Santosh and I will not mind if you want to set up a specific session for this, maybe like later, like next month or maybe after 1 or 2 months, because that required like dedicated time for 1 to 1.5 hours at least. Because if I say just randomly, yes, like MBA finance can do the business and startup, but what exactly they can do and how exactly they can do, that's the question will remain unanswered. You know, if you say about like can a chartered accountant do their own business, that everyone know in the world, you know, but what people don't know, can MBA do something of their own, and how and what all they can do. So for that required a dedicated time, to be very honest with you, because if in next 5-10 minutes, if me and Santosh will speak on it, probably it would be injustice, or you can say a half-baked information. So maybe for that, like I would request like we can keep this separate session for this topic. And second, the question you said about like woman entrepreneur and maybe the importance of women in the business. You know, this is something me and Santosh, like based on our experience, especially in the Big Four consulting firm and the MNCs in which we have worked, we can share from our experience. If you see, like in India also, uh, have you heard about the name like Indu Jain? She's the chairman of Coleman and Company, which is, you can say, the largest media group in the entire India. And have you heard about like Kiran Majumdar? She's also like chairman and MD in Biocon Limited. The company name is Biocon Limited, which is like one of the largest pharmaceutical company in India. And I'm sure you might have heard about the name of Indu Noori, right? She was like ex CFO and president of PepsiCo. And same way, like we have Chanda Kochar. She is like MD and CEO of ICICI Bank. And I'm sure you all might have watched the so many shows of Ekta Kapoor, right? She's also leading like Bajaj telefilms. And if you see like our finance minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, they all are lady. So I'll say to the woman, nothing to worry. Two things here. If you have passion and if you choose your profession, you will be definitely get there. There is nothing which can stop you to get to the leadership. And now coming back to the experience which like Santosh and I have, especially from the big consulting firm as well as like MNCs in which we work, all the big company, whether it's like Fortune 500 company or big consulting firm, there is a concept of D&I, which is called diversity and inclusiveness. So it's being mandatory for all these big companies to make sure that inclusiveness as well as diversity which include like gender diversity as well. So it's nothing like that. If being a woman, there's no opportunity or less opportunity, there are equal opportunities in the world. One. Now we have like what I have shared is a couple of examples from like India, which probably you might have heard or you might have seen. So I would like to share a couple of examples from the world as well, so that you can embrace and you can visualize to what extent a lady or a woman can go. So there is no limitation to the sky. Sky is very much open either for a man or a woman. It hardly make any difference, and our nature do not make any difference to it, to be very honest with you. I'm not sure whether you heard about the name Mary Barara, because like back in 2018 and 19, I was auditing General Motors as a global at a global level in the US. So their MD and CEO, her name is Mary Barara. She is also a lady. You know, she go up to that level, who is leading 83 countries centrally from US. If you see the Virginia Himoti, she is also like CEO of IBM, for which almost all of us are using their product. And now, like recently, if you have seen the last US election, I'm sure you all might have heard about Kamala Harris. She is from our South India, right? So she is a vice president of USA. And we all, as an Indian, as well as like women, we all should feel proud about it, right? And if you see the Angela Merkel, and if you see 𝐒𝐤𝐬, and if you see like Germany Chancellor, like her name is like Angela. So she's almost leading a lot of the global forum. In addition to leading the Germany, like how like in India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they are leading a lot of you can say global forum, or they are participating in a lot of global forum. Same like if you see like New Zealand Prime Minister, her name is if I'm not wrong, her name is Jacinda, right? She is like Prime Minister of New Zealand. If you see like the Chancellor, or which is you can say Prime Minister or President of Germany, she's also a lady. So there's nothing like that a man can do, a woman cannot do. There's a huge potential for both. Like Santosh, would you like to share some experience or examples from your journey? I think we lost Santosh, or he might lose the connection. But I think these are very good examples which you can definitely look for. Or I'm sure if you just noted down the name which I've shared, and if you follow them on LinkedIn or any other social media platform, you will be definitely getting a lot of update every day, what they are doing, how they are doing, and how they have reached to that. It will definitely help you in shaping up your career as well as giving you the path to get there.
Thank you, sir. I would like now invite Chaitra for vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Chaitra here to present the vote of thanks for today's panel discussion. I would like to thank our external panelists, Mr. Kamal Chhabra and Mr. Santosh Shekhar, for enlightening us with their knowledge. I'm sure all of you would agree with me that today's panel discussion was not only informative and thought-provoking, but also insightful for us all. It gave deep insight into the vast arena for us and an incredible number of ideas for us to explore. I'm pretty sure the thoughts put into us by Mr. Kamal and Mr. Santosh will definitely help us in our future and the career path we choose. Once again, I would like to thank Mr. Kamal and Mr. Santosh for taking time out from their busy schedule and enlightening us today. I hope you enjoyed talking to us as much as we enjoyed listening to you. I would like to thank our Associate Dean and our HOD, Professor Krishna MC, our HOS, Dr. Marina Matthew, and our faculty coordinator, Dr. Hashita Maulia and Dr. Nisha Shankar, and all the faculty of the Finance Department for the opportunity, the help, the guidance in organizing this panel discussion. Thank you to our student coordinators, Vidhi, Blessin, Pavan, Priyanshu, and Saurav. I also want to thank the student committee who worked really hard to make this event a success. Thank you to all the students present here, the key takers of this event. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, Chitra.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you.